Good morning, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. I know this is the reading where I always seem to have a little bit of epiphany about something or a little bit of an insight into something. And I thought I've noticed it over the years with myself especially, and our potential to think in a negative way. I note that when you're doing things right and you're providing people with good things all of the time, or most of the time, but probably intentionally all of the time, that people don't acknowledge the good things you're doing. And I watch other tarot readers, and it breaks my heart sometimes to see how hurt they are by some of the comments people make on their Facebook page, or on their YouTube channel, sorry, and probably on their Facebook page. But there are people in this world who really are so one-minded about their lives that things should work a certain way, and they have no room, interestingly enough with the moon jumping out here, they have no room to allow Nine of Cups, Six of Cups, Five of Wands, something coming back from your past to offer you something what you want here. They have no room to take that on board. So when a reading or a reader doesn't resonate with them, instead of being able to say, well, that wasn't mine, or wasn't my reading, they get upset, they make comments, sometimes they're quite blunt with their comments or hurtful, without having any realization that the person who's providing those readings for them or those insights is only channeling messages from the divine and the energies that are in the universe at that time. And some people lash out at the reader, and I saw someone yesterday who was very, very upset that that had happened to them. In my experience, I guess for 99.9% of the time, the comments I get on my page are absolutely beautiful. But that other perhaps 1% of the time, I just delete people. I don't even enter into it. If you're going to be rude, ignorant, nasty, whatever, it hurts my feelings. But sometimes I read things and I think, your world must be so very small if you can only concentrate on the negatives. And that is what people do. Not all of the time, because I believe that 99.9% of people are beautiful and good. But there's that 1% of people who are stuck in that negative energy. So I know somebody will go forward on this video now and put the time of the reading down because they don't want to listen to my blurbing on. And that's fine. I understand that. There are some people who complain about the way the voice is, the way the noise is, that they can't see properly, that they can't hear properly. And I think, what happened to saying, wow, that was an amazing reading, thank you for providing that for me from your heart, when you have other things you could be doing because you feel blessed and directed by the universe to provide me with this information. But that doesn't happen that way. There are people who are, and I don't know if it's deliberate, maybe they have some issues themselves that make them concentrate only on the negative aspects of things. And that makes me feel a little sad, because I think that they're not doing the work that's required for them to do to help them see and be grateful and gracious about how to lead their lives. So I want to say this morning, I allow you to put some negative things on my page because I feel that you need to have that self-expression. And if it isn't really hurtful towards anybody else on the page, I leave it there because I believe you have the right to say so. It is a YouTube channel. I have opened it up to the public. But if people become really hurtful or nasty towards others, as I said, I don't particularly get a lot of that on my page, and I'm grateful for that. But I don't really feel, I leave it there. I read it 1 or 2 times. I think, what was the thinking behind that? What can I take from that information? Is there any feedback there that is there for me? And if I feel at the end of the day it's just a very negative, hurtful response, I just delete the person and I move on. I don't get upset about it anymore. I did in the beginning because I found it hurtful that that's a bit of the ego kicking in, you see. Hurtful that I'm providing a service and people are being negative about it. So I would take that to heart. But because I've done so much shadow work over the last year, I've come to realise that actually that's not that's not me. It's nothing to do with me at all. It's to do with the person writing it up. So maybe people need to stop and think first about if they've got something negative to say, how can they put it in a way that we can receive it to improve what we're doing for ourselves. Anyway, I've blurbed on for way too long. That's my end of year soapbox routine. And I'm moving on with the reading. We have the Knight of Wands coming in here. Now, the Knight of Wands actually is a really beautiful energy. It's an energy of passion and drive. It's about doing something very quickly. It's about rushing in to say or do something with passion. It represents Leo, Sagittarius and Aries. So very, very fiery energy. The Page of Wands has got perhaps the reputation of being the player because of that energy, or being the one night stand. The wands often seen as phallic symbols. So this person could be someone who's rushing in, who may not stay long because the energy burns out very, very quickly with this Prince of Wands. You could be moving on from someone who has this energy, or you could be harnessing this energy to move on from a situation, perhaps to do with an earth sign here. There's been a tower or some sort of upset here between you and another person, and you may be choosing to move on from that energy. You do have the Strength card here, which came up in the What's Cracking reading. So there may be somebody you've had around you who's proven to be maybe a little bit flaky or a little bit non-committed, and because of that you've chosen to walk away and move on with your own life. It could be that you've had someone who's perhaps rushed in, evoked all your energy and your emotion, and then has left your life just as quickly, leaving you with this tower and this breaking down of things, how you feel that they should have gone. But there's definitely this feeling that there was a lesson in this for you to learn around investing, or perhaps moving too quickly or too passionately for something that you wanted that perhaps wasn't going to serve your greater good. But we'll have a look at the story. Three of Pentacles coming in here. So we have something here that we want to build on. The Three of Pentacles can talk about a job or work too, and I've got to say, interestingly enough, this could apply to a workplace. It could be that you went into a job being promised lots of beautiful things and how wonderful that you were offered this opportunity, and the next minute the person's gone, nah, I don't need you anymore, and then you've ended up with no job. Tower moment. So it could be that sort of energy too, but that's sort of the energy that's coming through here. So the Three of Pentacles tells me that there was some desire, or is some desire, to work on something here, to put an energy into something, to produce a result. And we do have the Death card coming out here. For some of you could be dealing with Scorpio, but the Death card talks about a transition. It talks about a change, and maybe that's what's happened here. Maybe having this job, maybe committing to this particular situation, maybe finding that things have changed so rapidly has sent you into a bit of a spiral now, and maybe that was meant to occur because you were meant to understand what you wanted going forward, and maybe you've grabbed at something or taken something on because it looked shiny and it looked like something you wanted, but it turned out to not be what was right for you. So you having a very big transition here. I love this because you're really using your intuition. So instead of just getting upset about this situation, instead of discarding the situation, you're really trying to understand, what does this mean to me? What do I want? If this wasn't what I wanted, why am I choosing the right thing for myself when I deserve so much more on my path? Okay, Queen of Cups coming in here. This is your energy. This is you being intuitive, being in tune with your environment, taking on the energies of a much more independent, nurturing person. But that's about you. That's about nurturing yourself, putting energy into yourself, creating your own world now. Something here has pushed you into really understanding who you are, what you want. Okay, then we have the Emperor coming out. So the Emperor can represent Aries. This person is very knowledgeable, very learned, very possibly well educated, but certainly very experienced. And I feel that they're coming in to help you rebuild the tower here. Now, the reason I say that is because I'm really drawn to the tower in the background, which is standing very tall and strong here. And I'm feeling that perhaps you've been chasing after the wrong type of person, situation, and going after something you thought was right for you, that you are now realizing isn't perhaps what you want here. And I feel that you're starting to pursue something. Oh my goodness. Okay, people. Emperor and Empress coming out in the same reading right next to each other. I feel like somebody is coming in now to help you rebuild that tower, but building it with a stronger foundation, because now you are counting yourself in the equation. So maybe you've been a person who's been going into the wrong relationships, situations, believing that the other person was more important than yourself, which gives rise to codependency. So I feel that you are starting to put yourself at least equally to the person you're working with, and understanding it's about you within a situation or relationship as much as anyone else. So you're letting go of this idea that you can't speak up, you can't say what you want, you can't do what you want because of fear of hurting the other person. And you're letting go of that idea, and you're understanding now how to rebuild with someone new who is equal and vibrating at the same level as you. Very beautiful. Seven of Swords coming out again. Ah, damn you, Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords has come out in exactly the same position as it did with What's Cracking. So there's a significance here. The Seven of Swords is about, people talk about it being about betrayal, because we see someone sneaking off in the middle of the night with swords under their arm and trying to get away with it. Now, the original tarot meaning for this card is someone trying to get away with something. The swords represent thoughts, thinking, communication. When you see someone running away with the swords, they're refusing to see that communicating is what they need to do, and they're trying to move away from a situation without being honest and open. And this is saying to me that this is, in this particular reading, about you learning that you need to voice your voice. You need to speak your truth. You need to stand in who you are and speak what you want to say. Now, that doesn't mean to say you do it in a hurtful or a nasty way, because I'm not saying that at all. If you're going to say something, you need to think about how you say it in a way that asserts your true feelings without hurting or degrading or putting the other person down, without using aggression, without using your emotions. So being completely detached from your emotions and assertive. That is what this means here. Oh, I want to take two. We do have you taking a brand new start now after this realization. Five of Cups coming through again. So it's definitely about walking away from the way you did things in the past and embracing the new way of doing things in the future. The Four of Swords coming out here says to me there is a real need for you here to take time out to go inside to learn how to express yourself in a healthy, assertive way, because you are being given an opportunity here to rebuild something that has bitten the dust. Perhaps in the past you responded to this beautiful, passionate sexual energy, this go fast thing, do things in a hurry, don't think about them, because you're being led down a new pathway here. You may have moved away from someone or moved away from a situation that did not serve you, because we brought in the Tower, which means that you've let things break down now so that you can rebuild them. There's definitely a lot of passion here, but I feel that you are learning your own inner strengths here and how to move forward in a situation. And this would be the longest reading I think I've ever done on YouTube, so obviously meant to be said this morning. But definitely this idea in both the readings today that people need to learn to speak up for themselves in a way that people will listen, in a way that is maybe we all need a nap after that really long reading, right? Time for a nap. So I'm going to read how this relates to this reading. Okay, this is about rest, rejuvenation and renewal, temporary non-action and allowing dreams to arise. That's why you've got that card. This is a time to step away and rest. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat and rest. Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force of conscious direction as you observe without engagement now. So this is interesting. This is about you taking time out to really understand how to move forward here. So the card says to you, don't take any action at this time. And that's what the Four of Swords is about. It's about time to meditate and to really think about how to do this in future, so that you don't walk away from things that are not resolved, so that you don't not speak up and say what you want to say, but how to do it in a way that is really, really relevant to the circumstances. Yes, it's a challenge for all of us because we go in with emotion, we blurt, and then people don't listen. They think there's something wrong with you. And this is all about that communication. Have a wonderful day.